Hey, what's up? Jason here from Unity3D.college. In this video, I'm going to go over GIT branching and merging, specifically with Unity3D. If you haven't watched the previous video on GIT basics and you want to kind of get caught up, go ahead and go back and watch that first and then go through this thing. So I've got the project set up that I had before where I just have a cube here with a color changer script on it. If I hit play, you see as I click over in the game window, the color just changes. It's just picking a random color in the code. So what I want to do now is make a change to this, but I'm going to do it in a separate branch. So branches are used for doing a couple different things. The most common thing that people use them for is features. So they'll create a new branch for a specific feature. That way they can work on that one feature without impacting the rest of their project or game. And then if they need to jump back over and work on something that's not part of that feature, they can keep their stuff that they're working on that's kind of in progress in that other branch and go back and forth between them pretty easily. And in a lot of source control systems, merging that stuff back together, so you have your original thing and a couple other people are working on it, and then you've got your branch with your new feature. A lot of times that can be really hard to merge. Git makes that really easy, which is one of the reasons that it's such a great source control system. So what I want to do now is just jump over to Git, and I'm going to create a new branch just by clicking the branch button. And then let's name this, why don't we name it box scaler. So this is just going to be a branch where I'm going to add a little feature that also rescales the box as we click the button. So I've got that branch created, and all it really does is create a text file with a link to a commit in there. A branch is super lightweight. It's not creating much else. There's no like giant copy of files going on like there would be in a system like a Perforce or something. So I've got this. You can't even tell that I've switched branches really, other than looking in source control. Everything's exactly the same. Nothing's changed yet. So what I'm going to do is select my cube and just add another script here. We'll call this scale changer. Let's open that thing up and we'll just implement something really simple that'll just give it a random scale. So if I go back over to my color changer script, you see we've already got this check in here for input. Let's just copy that right in. We're not going to do the renderer's color though. What we're going to do is change the transform local scale, and we're going to pick a random size. So just name this get random size. And control period brings up the generate method hotkey. So do that. I've got a new method here that's just going to return back a new random vector3. So go return new vector3. We'll go random dot control dot, because we want unity engine dot random dot range. And let's go from 0.5 to 1.5. We need the F there because it's float. So I'm going to copy this. So that's our X. We'll go Y and Z. So it's just going to give us back a random size and then set the scale to a random size. Get rid of these extra using statements. Alright, so now if I hit play, and then I'll start clicking, and we should see the color change and the scale is changing. Alright, okay. So that's working great. Now I'm going to save my scene and I'm going to jump back over to Unity. Or sorry, to source control. Source tree right here. So if I go into working copy, I've got my scale changer script. I'm going to commit that first. And then I'm going to commit the demo scene. I usually like to commit these things in order of dependency. So since the demo scene requires the scale changer, I want to do the scale changer first. You could do them all in one, but like I said before, I really like to keep my commits as granular as possible. So this will be demo scene with scale changer. So now this is committed. And let's go back over to the branches section. So here you'll see we have a branch called box scaler, and that has our most recent commit and then the commit right before it. We also have the master branch back here. So say we have another user, or we want to just specifically ourselves go back and change something, but we're not ready to finish the box scaler yet, right? Maybe there's some more functionality we want to add to it, or in the real world it's a much bigger system. It's not a simple script, right? So what I can do is just double click on that one to check out that branch. Now you see the branches section, the bolded one with the little circle here is now master. It was box scaler. If I double click that, I'll just go back to box scaler. Go to master again. So now if I go back into Unity and reload, see that script doesn't exist in this branch at all. It's totally gone. It's not on our game object here. And now let's just, for this example, pretend that I am somebody else, right? I'm not Jason now. I'm Matt, and I'm working on a totally different feature, right? Like, let's say I am going in here. What could Matt be doing? Matt is making a new script that does movement, right? So he's doing a box mover script. He's the guy that's in charge of making boxes move around. And then we'll open up his code file, or my code file, and I'm going to put in here some input handling. So let's go var movement equals input.getAxis horizontal. And we're just going to do left and right movement for now to keep this nice and simple. Delete all this extra crap. Make that private. And then we'll do transform.position plus equals vector3.right times movement and times speed. Let's give it a speed variable so we can actually see it move. And now I'm going to just create a float. So control period, generate field, and it does a vector3 because this is vector3. I'm going to change that to be a float. So I just want to multiply this by some value. And let's go like 20 as the default. And we'll add the serialized field attribute so it shows up in the editor. I'm going to delete out my extra using statements, of course. Jump back over to the editor, and let's press play. Okay, where's my cube? Oh, there it goes. It's flying. It's way too fast. Cool. So let's turn that value way down. There we go. There we go. It's moving left and right. I'm kind of at a weird view here, so you can really see that. There we go. So there's our cube just moving back and forth, right? Let's jump back over to source control, and again, we're not Jason this time. We're committing as a separate person or somebody doing a change remotely. And I'm going to do this in the master branch, right? So say Matt doesn't like to use branches, and he just likes to do all of his stuff in master. And he goes, okay, I'm committing my box mover script. Right, and he's like, okay, he's committed that. And now you can see right here that now there's a broken off part right here. So the master branch right up here, the one that we're on, has the box mover script on it. And then this divergence here shows that somebody else is working on a box scaler branch. And what we're going to want to do is bring these together eventually, right? So let's save Matt's demo scene. This is where it's going to get messy. So you've saved Matt's demo scene, and he's going to commit that demo with box mover. He commits that up, and now we jump back over to here, and he's got 2 commits, right? So what I want to do is, I'm Matt, and I see that, hey, Jason has made these box scaler changes. I want to pull these changes back into the master branch, or I could be Jason doing it, whichever. Right. So what I can do is right click and hit merge. So it says, are you sure you want to merge box scaler, which is the name of that branch, into your current branch? So I'm in master. It's asking me if I want to commit the box scaler branch, and I'm just going to hit OK because I do want to commit it, and it's going to say, hey, you've got a merge conflict. Now the reason we have a merge conflict is that in both branches we edited the scene file. If we had only done the code files, there would be no conflicts. This would be super simple, but that's not really what happens in the real world most of the time. So if I look here in my working copy, I've got the scalar one, and that's nice and green. It knows, hey, these are just files that weren't in the branch, add them in. But it's also got this demo scene that has some merged stuff. So there are a couple options here. We can just go in and try to merge this ourselves, right? So we could go in and edit this right here. We could unstage these 2 lines. So by default, Git is going to add a marker here for where the head one is, which is like our local, our master one. And then it's going to add another set of little equal signs here and an end mark, and this is the stuff that's coming from this box scaler branch. So if I want to just try to merge it and let it actually combine the changes in the editor, since it's super small, I can do that. What I can do is just select all 3 of these lines right here and hit discard lines. Oh, I gotta hit them one at a time, that's right. So I hit this one, hit discard. Yep, okay, and then I'll discard that and discard that. And the reason those are there is just that a lot of people do their merging in text files, so or they'll open up a diff program that handles this. And like I said, scenes aren't usually mergeable. A lot of the time there's a ton of stuff in there, and there are these little markers everywhere, and you merge them and it's going to become a disaster. So like 90% of the time I recommend against merging scenes, but since it's an easy case here, I wanted to show you how to do that. So now we've got this unstaged file, and I can hit stage selected. And since we've already cleared out the extra stuff there, it should be okay. Now before I commit this, what I can do is just jump back over to Unity, and it's already made those changes locally. So I should be able to see this cube when it reloads and see that it's in a good state before I commit. So I can see it's got the box mover and the color changer. Let's turn that back down to 1. Let me just hit play and make sure that it's working, and then I'll do the commit. So I hit left and right, there we go, it's moving left and right. We're good to go. So this one I can actually commit the merged scene. Like I said, most of the time you can't do this and you're gonna need to just select one. Let's do the commit right now though, and then later on I'll do another video where I show how to get around a scene merge problem. My general recommendation is don't merge them at all. Keep as much stuff in separate prefabs that are related to what you're working on, so you don't have to try to merge them, because it's, like I said, messy and likely to break stuff and unexpectedly break stuff if you have a lot of stuff in your scene. But like I said, it is also possible. So that's kind of the basics of merging. If I jump back over to the branches now, you'll see that these have come back together. So box scaler is now merged into master. Master has everything from both of those branches. So in the next video, I think I'll cover remotes and just pushing and pulling to remote servers. So if you're interested in that, just keep watching, hit like and subscribe. You get updated when the next one comes out. Thanks again.